Welcome back to the Listen Up podcast, where we analyze a new album each week. I'm Jamie, and this week we've got me, Nick,
what's up,
and Jordan.
Hey!
This week we'll be taking a look at Being So Normal by Peach Pit, released in 2017, and it was picked by me, Jamie. It was their first full LP release and followed their 2016 EP titled Sweet F.A. It has one song from Sweet F.A. that's done a little bit differently on this album, as well as 8 other original tracks. The band is composed of Neil Smith on vocals and rhythm guitar, Christopher Vanderkoy, who's on lead guitar, Peter Wilson, the bassist, and Mike Pascuzzi is the drummer. So I guess we'll just start out with... I'll talk a little bit more about why I picked this album. It's an album that I've really enjoyed since I first listened to it. And the reason I actually discovered this band was they were one of the, I guess, quote unquote filler bands at Bonnaroo. There's like, at festivals there's the headliners and then there's like the side stages, and Peach Pit it happened to be the first concert we saw of Bonnaroo last year, 2019. And we watched them. I didn't know any of their discography, and then was just like delightfully surprised with how good they were. And then they ended their set with a cover of Johnny B. Good by Chuck Berry. It was interesting. It was after listening to, 35 minutes of kind of indie surf rock. It was weird to hear the opening, that opening riff to Johnny B. Good, and I was like, is this? And then they actually did it, and I was like, okay. But yeah, like I said, we saw him at Bonnaroo, and then just ever since then, I've really dug all of their stuff. They actually just came out with their sophomore record, You and Your Friends.
Sorry.
Either late last year or early this year, and it was really good.
What does sophomore record mean? Does it mean your second record?
Yeah,
second album?
Like their sophomore. Yeah, and it's really good. It's got a different feel than this one. It's not quite as laid back, but it's still really good. So I look forward to hearing more stuff from them in the future. And they're delightful to follow on Instagram and Twitter. Twitter's pretty funny, but Instagram, they do just they meme themselves all the time, and they just make dumb sketches that are just so funny. So yeah, that's if you want to check them out on Instagram, that's a good time too. Have either of y'all, how familiar were either of y'all with their work?
Zero.
You say zero?
The only time I ever knew about their work was when I ate a literal Peach Pit. Wait, no, I never eat it.
Dude, are you okay? Did you have to go to the hospital?
I didn't actually eat it. I bet whenever I get to the middle of a Peach Pit. That was the joke. I'm exit stage left. Okay.
Nick, sorry, what about you?
Wow. The only time I had ever heard of them was when you got back from Bonnaroo and you said, "Hey, there's this cool band that wasn't huge that I've come to like a lot now, and they're called Peach Pit."
Dude,
that was very strong. But
what, Jordan?
That was the plainest thing.
For how small they are, they actually have a lot of plays. Their lowest big one has 7 million, that's kind of lowest one has 1.5 million. That's still a lot, I don't know.
Yeah, but they're definitely a band that I'm how are these guys not bigger?
I know.
Than they they definitely should be more just well renowned, I think.
Yeah, I think they're a really good, just indie sounding artist.
It's very unique.
they're like at the top of their field.
For sure. Like, and that's kind of one of the cooler parts of them kind of, I guess, quote unquote, being a smaller band, because they've done like real tours and stuff. But they have that very, Jason Isbell kind of has the same approach to social media, just a very like responsive and just having fun with the audience on stuff. Like on Instagram, I think they'll sometimes, respond to like DM that people have like questions about songs and stuff.
Okay.
But during the quarantine, Neil and Chris, they've done like
Neil?
Just sometimes, the lead singer.
I was joking, like Neil from our class. I know that's not doxing you. I said Neil, bro. I love Neil. Neil, shout out to you. Okay, no one knows who he is except.
But yeah, they'll do like Instagram lives where they'll just like pick a song and Neil will do like the rhythm guitar part to it, and then Chris will do what he does on lead for it, which is like super awesome. I wish more bands would do that with like really good songs. John Mayer does it some, but like I wish more people would do that, because I'm like, I want to learn from the person who invented it,
I think John Mayer's disappeared.
Yeah, I think it's kind of.
I haven't seen any content from him.
We'll have to we'll have to go on a scavenger hunt.
Facts.
Yeah, I was hoping that you guys I would definitely have the most exposure to Peach Pit, and I think I thought it'd be cool to see.
Yes.
I think this is the first one we've had that has had the most like one-sided exposure. Pop Smoke was pretty close, but Nick had at least like maybe was a little bit new.
Okay.
But I figured that this would be one where it'd be pretty much I knew it, and then you guys just like had nothing.
Yeah, I knew who Pop Smoke was, but I never.
I'll make it ring down with. No, shit.
All right. Yeah. So I guess then we'll just move into kind of general first impressions and feels of the album.
All right.
I'll let someone else do a little bit more talking, because I know I'm going to talk so much during this episode.
All right, Nick. Do you want to start it off?
Sure. So yeah, like I said, a minute or two ago, I feel like it's like a really good indie album, and also you can hear influences of like it's like a guitar driven indie album, and like the guitar like stands out in certain portions more than other just instruments do on the record. I think for the majority of the record, but you also hear other influences, like the song Techno Show is like kind of like it has kind of like a dance rhythm to it, to me at least. That techno show, it's not... But overall, I like the feel of the whole album. Like it feels very. It feels relaxed and chill a lot, and then sometimes it breaks out into something that you like don't expect, and I enjoyed that.
Like that Private Presley solo.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. That
Fire.
Yeah, I am high key obsessed with Chris's tone, especially on like Private Presley and Tommy's Party and stuff like that. I love how clean, like you can tell there's some overdrive in there, and then just that feeding into the wah pedal he has in Private Presley. That solo, it's like Weight of Love to me. I just love it so much.
Is that is the wah pedal? It's very clear what the wah pedal is, because the guitar starts going like
right. Yeah. That's it's like an envelope filter if you were to look at the operation of it from a DSP perspective. But yeah, it makes the guitar like wah 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 wah. Yeah, love that shit.
I don't know if I like that part. Okay. Well, I guess we'll get into that later. But
I was a fan, but my overall feel was that I generally gravitate towards more relaxed music and music that sometimes subverts my expectations, and this album did both of those things.
It tickled your buttons.
Yeah, sure.
Jordan, what about you?
Real button tickler.
Yeah, no, I put it on a couple, like, in the background a little bit when I started, like, playing games or doing homework, or not homework, what am I talking about? Well, like, doing just, I muted myself, okay? Or, like, doing, like, work in the background or something. And it was a good album to, like, listen to in the background if I wasn't, like, listening closely, But again, I just try to listen to it, and it's, I guess, my definition of, like, a fun song is different than, like, what your guys' definition of, like, a fun song is, I did like the first half of it, though. I think a lot better than I liked the second half, because it was a little more.
That's so funny.
Why?
Literally, one of my notes, to me, it finishes almost as strongly as any other album I can think of. Like Hot Knifer, Private Presley, and Tommy's Party. I love those 3 songs so much.
I think those were maybe some of my least favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
It's funny.
No, that is really funny. It's so telling. Like,
you sound mad. Jim.
Yeah,
you sound like you said. Like,
oh no, it's legitimately. I'm smiling and chuckling.
No, yeah, that's
that's the beauty of music.
I know. That's why it is funny to see all our music tastes come together, and then what we like and don't like. But yeah, so I really like the beginning. I think a lot in my personal opinion, got a little bit boring towards the end. But yeah, my overall take.
My just general feel. I mean, I've probably already talked enough about it, but I love it.
More.
And I knew a lot of the words to, like, most of the songs. I don't know, because I don't know how many times I've listened to it. But for somehow, like, reading them added a different level of meaning, like a different level of processing what the lyrics were. And so I actually, like, read it and understood a little bit differently the words that I had heard, like, hundreds of times. So I thought that was an interesting thing.
Interesting.
Yeah. As far as like specific things about this album that if I were to look at, I love the amount of metaphor used throughout it. Because it's the kind of thing where, it fits with whatever's going on musically, and so you can kind of tune out the words a little bit. But if you actually listen to them, some of them, it's like really interesting songwriting. Like the idea of during Drop the Guillotine, like the idea of having a friend who is unintentionally hurting you. It's such an interesting way to say that. By saying you're dropping a guillotine on me, even though you don't really want to hurt me. I thought that was like, I don't think I ever would have, and that's why I don't write songs, honestly, because I can't. I don't go that much.
Yeah, something similar to that I liked. I think it's in Being So Normal, when he says it's in the chorus, and he says, "But I grew my hair and you got tattoos." But I grew my hair and you got tattoos. Man, that's hard to look through. And it's enveloped by him talking about, like, kind of like missing someone. And he says, "But I grew my hair and you got tattoos, and man, that's hard to look through." And I thought that was like an inventive way of him saying, like, basically times have passed and things have changed. But instead of saying that, he just described their physical characteristics, and you just understand what he means based off of that.
Yeah, I mean, because the lines before that is like, "Sometimes I can still see you just like I used to," and then they used to followed by the like concrete, like, appearance changes. It's a very and it all like rhymes and fits really well with the music. You just go up because it's kind of, the album is like, I don't know. It seems it's a very, I don't know. I guess angsty-ish, but you can still apply like what the songs, the meat of what the songs are. You can still apply that throughout many situations in life. We just kind of, it touches on things that don't really leave in the human existence. Yeah. Also, Alrighty Aphrodite. It's like, that's something that everyone knows who Aphrodite is, but it's a whole nother level to take that and apply it to like, oh man, this person kind of, whether like, you know, she played the narrator or whatever happened there, in some way she heard him and then he was like, man, you know, well, alrighty, Aphrodite, go whip that red for other eyes, is a line in the chorus, and that's like the painting of her with the red hair. Well, alrighty, Aphrodite, go whip that red for other eyes. So I don't know. There's just stuff like that that's pretty. It's stuff that I would never have thought to write about or to use to convey know, the meaning behind the words.
Yeah, that's something I always enjoy in lyricism when artists use specific scenarios or specific characteristics to convey a feeling that's common and that a lot of people can feel. It's just it always surprises me because I like you said, like that's why I don't write songs. Like I don't feel like I can think that creatively. And so whenever I hear that, I'm like, hey, like,
yeah. In like looking back at something, I find it, I can like, you know, apply those things, but I would never create those kind of situations.
Yeah. I mean, practice makes perfect too. Like at the end of the day, you know, if you really wanted to start making stuff, I mean, yeah, I mean, obviously we probably wouldn't be that good at it, but you know, after a couple years, you know, dude.
That's why I want to become a lead guitarist and not a singer, because I don't want to have to write the music.
I will be the singer.
Okay, beautiful.
We'll leave them to the contract. Thick thighs, double thick.
Jordan, you have to download. You have to download Ableton.
Ableton, is that a beat app?
Yeah, it's
okay. It's like I'll just use what is it? GarageBand?
Yeah, that's what I used to make our intro.
You could.
Yeah, it works, you know.
Plug GarageBand.
I can't believe you didn't use our rap one, but
we need to support.
True.
Another, also
that was sarcastic.
Also, kind of drawing back on the just like the interesting songwriting on the album. I really love Tommy's Party. And that girl who tagged along there with you, I never caught her name, but she seemed fucked up too. Ooh, from where I sat, she looked to be having fun, keeping up with you, just like I used to. From both a musical aspect, love it, but also it's, at least in music that I am familiar with, it's written about a perspective that is a very real experience, but I feel like doesn't get, like, it's not sung about in song, but it's definitely like,
okay.
I think it's something that everyone who's had friends for more than like 4 or 5 years has experienced. How, you know, the whole thing, or the first half is written from Tommy's perspective, and him and Neil were roommates, and this kind of had a basis in like a real like situation. But it's like, hey, you know, it's written about Tommy voicing to Neil that, like, you know, what happened to the level of friendship we had, because now you've got this like girl, whether it's like a, you know, a real relationship or just someone else you're hanging out with, like, what happened to the times that we had.
Oh, that's so tough.
And yeah, because I mean, that's something that like everyone has experienced who had childhood friends, but I feel like it's very rarely, I don't even know that I can think of another example that like it's been explored in like an art form, But I think that's so cool.
Really?
To have a song about just to have something deal with that. Thought that was pretty cool.
It is.
Yeah, and then kind of the last thing I had was like how the entirety of Private Presley is written in a very interesting structure, because it at the same time kind of uses historical references to Elvis Presley's life to also convey the narrator's intent of saying, like, you know, that they miss whoever they left behind. Yeah, it's really weird. I don't know, like, what, because they're okay. So they're from Vancouver, so they're not really tied to, you know, Southern history used in lines like two-room shotgun house, talking about, you know, maybe they have river winds in.
Yeah, and he mentions Memphis and Tupelo.
Right, and because yeah, like Elvis, I'm pretty sure Elvis was born in Tupelo. And the first line, I'm pretty sure, is about, like, he had a stillborn brother. Because, like, the first verse is about a mom and her son dying in childbirth. And so that's like, okay, what is the song going to be about? And then it moves into, like, Love Me Tender. And then the old Slewfoot that he says is a reference to a Johnny Horton song. And that's, like, kind of a country background. So that also fits into the Presley thing. I don't even know what cried, "Oh, Private Presley." I don't know what that means, but it's cool.
Private Presley.
But then, like, the second verse, you know, like, the bus line people shout, "Reach out my hand to these sidewalk crowds." You know, like a touring musician, both the narrator and the and the Elvis. I couldn't remember Elvis's name. And then talks about wanting to go home.
The Elvis.
And then it's weird to weave the idea even down to the line in the chorus, "My voice is back home while I'm in hell," would be Elvis having his, you know, like, established music career, to then him going and, like, fighting in World War II.
Wait, did he fight in World War II?
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
Yeah, he went.
I thought I heard you say it, but then I don't know why that just struck me again.
Yeah. I mean, so that it was, and then
wait, how old are they? They looked kind of young on the thing,
like,
right?
They're like 26, I think. They're like a few years older than us.
Interesting.
They founded the band in, like, high school
Chris
and Neil started the band in high school for, like, a music project.
Never mind. Yep. Okay, I'm caught up. Sorry, I just had a really bad brain fart. Anyways,
yeah. So I thought that was just a weird and really cool written song.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Jordan apparently has other thoughts, but I just absolutely love that solo. I also really like Hot Knifer a lot.
Okay, I like the solo. You're talking about Private Presley, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I like the solo. I also like the part where, like, it seemed sequential at the end, you know? Or kind of like not sequential. It seemed kind of like sporadic of that that guitar, like, where, like, you know what I'm talking about? I'm trying to recreate this out because I can't.
No, I gotcha. I'll cut it in.
Yeah,
I'll cut it in for sure. If I haven't already, I've probably used that before in this episode, but if not, then I'll definitely put that in so that people can understand what you are onomatopoeing.
But, like, I really did like that part. I really did like that part of the song. So
yeah, it just builds so well, and then there's just that, like, chaotic climax of energy that I just love, and then it goes back down and kind of, you know, chills out a little bit.
I got it.
Yeah, but that's where he's just got, like, a wah pedal going with his foot, and then just, like, going ape shit on the strings while holding, like, the chords. It's a really cool technique. It's used a lot in, like, slide guitar solos and stuff, like Derek Trucks. He does that a lot. but it's always if you watch like a visual performance of someone doing something like that, it's crazy to watch because I don't know how people can do it accurately. So that's neat if you want to check out a live performance of stuff like that.
I got you.
Private Presley. It's probably private as in like military rank.
Oh,
Private Presley.
That's what I was thinking too.
Bro, that's smart.
Sorry, I thought.
Yeah. Cried, "Oh, Private Presley, she swayed like the trees." Huh.
Wait, what did?
Yeah, so like she's probably.
Sorry, like, wait. What did you guys think Private meant?
I just had no idea.
We didn't know.
Defeat at that point.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I should have.
Makes a lot of sense.
I should have jumped in and told you. I thought it did mean because it's just okay when you start talking about Elvis Presley and like the military. I was like, that makes pretty good sense. Like Private Presley.
I thought it was like, I don't know. I just kind of assumed it was like a missing like private musician, but that doesn't make sense. So yeah, definitely the military.
I got you.
Yeah, I think Hot Knifer is the most. It's the sound. Okay, it's a song that's like the most sounding like being about smoking weed song that I've ever heard that is just about smoking weed.
It's a whole vibe.
I love the chorus to it so much. I love that chorus.
Hash and smoky trails are leading into sighs. Hot knives, golden lines are fading where your eyes. I've been blowing nose as you don't know my name, and I'll keep burning this way.
Yeah, like the vocal lines in it, the like chilled guitar, the kind of like a little mysterious vocalization with it. Man, I love it so much.
I said a little too slow for me, but
I could see that. It's very slow.
It doesn't even like. When does it say any like lyrics? Like 30 seconds in or something.
What?
It's pretty far in.
I thought you meant like you didn't hear the lyrics in the song, and I was like, what?
Yeah. We were listening to the You and Your Friends album, right? The You and Your Friends album. No.
Yeah. But like it's such an interesting song, and I guess it's interesting, but it's written pretty neat about just kind of like kind of missing someone, but then also being resigned to the fact that it's like, you know, I guess you do you and I'll do me kind of thing. Like, yeah, but just the chorus I love so much.
I like the, I like the like melancholy feel to it.
There's a lot of good imagery in it too. You don't hear the word droves used a lot in song, which is pretty cool. Like time's been floating by in droves, hiding darkened tides. Pretty cool. Yeah, like glow red blossom into flame. Hash and smoky trails are leading into sighs. I've been blowing O's as you don't know my name. Like there's a lot of, I don't know, even the imagery used is kind of like melancholic, you know? It's pretty cool though.
I got you.
Definitely fits with I would say with all the songs. You don't really have any songs that the lyricism doesn't fit with what's going on musically. You know, like, so because we've talked about a few songs in the past where it's like it doesn't, you know, the music and the words kind of are at odds with each other, but like most of this album, if it's like sad lyrics, it's a sad song. You know, Drop the Guillotine, I guess, is a bit of an exception to that because it starts out just like a very, you know, that's probably one of the most rocking songs on here, I think.
What's rocking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and which is also cool because it starts off with Drop the Guillotine, which is a very like high energy track,
Yeah,
then,
I do actually
Jordan
like
said,
that song.
Throughout the album, it gets kind of less and less. Not Me is still pretty energetic. I would say it's more energetic than Shagu's Side Turn. But yeah, like, what a difference ending on Tommy's Party and starting with Drop the Guillotine.
Yeah.
And Shagu's Side Turn, there's actually, in looking at like the lyrics, apparently the like Shagu's Side Turn, well, he was in Indonesia. He had a guy named Shagu who would constantly say like, we got a side turn, or like ask him if he wanted a side turn. And then finally he was like, what is that? And then it's just like crystal meth. He like snorts crystal meth off his knuckles. So, because I was listening to it and I was like, what does it mean? And then it makes sense, because then it's like,
I noticed that I'm feeling like Chagu. Face down and up on it again. As without a weight, I'm just like you. Side turn, ripped as shit again.
I've noticed I'm feeling like Shagu. Face down, then up on it again. That's him, snorting it off his knuckles. As without a weight, I'm just like you. Side turned and ripped his shit again. And I was like, oh yeah, makes sense. Which is just not, I not in a million years would have guessed that that's what the basis of an entire song was for. But that one's a pretty groovy tune.
I do like that.
Yeah,
one
I think
too.
that's all like the really specific elements and like that I wanted to get into.
Great,
On
glad
that
that
side.
was a quick.
I think I think purely because I like had no idea what he was talking about in that Shagu's Side Turn. I think that was probably one of my least favorite songs on the album. But like I did like the instrumentation to it.
I was kind of the same way. That one or Not Me, I think would probably be my lowest rankings.
Yeah, I think I feel that way too. Like, I really liked most of the songs on the album. I don't like love the album. Like, it's not like, I don't know. Like, I feel like my enjoyment of the majority of the songs on the album doesn't reflect my overall feeling for the album, because I like the album, but as much as I liked each one of those songs, I feel like I would like it more than I feel like I do. Like, I don't feel like I would throw on the album a whole lot to listen to, but I did enjoy listening to a lot of the songs.
How dare you?
Good job, Nick. Good job.
I don't know.
I and it's funny because
It's
that's
weird.
like, there's not like a word for that feeling, but I definitely experienced the same thing. There are albums, I can't really think of any right now, because like you said, it's not an album that you're ever like, yeah, I'm just going to put it on. But there are definitely albums where I'll hear songs and I'm like, man, this song's good, and this song's good, and this song's good, but I never just won't feel like listening to the album.
Well, I think,
And I don't really know what
Mm-hmm.
that is, but I can also say that I definitely experienced that.
that's why I have like a hard time choosing an album. Well, the first one I just really liked, the Pop Smoke album, but that's why I have a hard time choosing like other albums, because I'm kind of a listen to songs that I like, and almost all the time I never like more than a couple songs on an album to listen to it more than once. So then it just creates this thing of like, well, I really like this song and I want them to listen to it, but all these songs aren't that good, I don't think. And then like, I don't know. It's hard sometimes. It's hard for a pimp out here.
Yeah, no, I get it though. I used to be someone who I never listened to like actual albums or anything. I had one or two songs from artists.
Yeah,
and that was like my entire library. And then I don't know, I hit a I don't know what was the catalyst that like caused me to change, but for some reason I just suddenly was like, nah, I like that now. I don't know what happened. It was like day and night. Just for some reason suddenly I was like,
you woke up one day, had an egg breakfast. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna listen to albums for the rest of my life now.
Yeah,
Just
I mean,
gonna be
I
like
still,
that.
you know, I still just put my. I don't really make playlists. I'm not a playlist person.
I don't make playlists either. That's
I take my if I'm not listening to like an album, then I'll just go in like my liked songs on Spotify, of which I have 3,500, and then I just
Oh
shuffle play, and then but I'll hear songs, and I'm like, oh, that reminds me, I want to listen to this song, and then I build cues like a
Yeah.
madman,
yeah,
but I don't make
That's
my own
what-
like set playlists.
that's
I
what
use my
I do
daily
too,
mixes,
Jeremy.
but that's it.
That's what I do too. That's why I prefer Apple Music over Spotify most of the time. Is because Apple Music's more of an access like individual songs kind of thing, whereas Spotify is more of like a playlist maker.
But I will say, I love, like, I don't make my own Spotify playlists, but I love Spotify's curated playlists that they themselves make.
Yeah, I actually do. Sometimes I'll
It's much better than Apple's, like,
yeah.
playlists they make.
Like the funny thing is, I've been on Apple Music for so long that now I'm on Spotify just because it's on my computer. I mean, and it's easier to access. I don't even know if I can access Apple Music on a PC. It'd probably be kind of hard.
You just use iTunes.
Yeah, but who uses iTunes? Where nobody.
It's such a bad program.
It
such
is.
a bad
It
program.
is. It still looks like it's like made in like 2008 or something.
The
Anyways.
worst part about the Apple ecosystem.
It is. But so, oh gosh,
Aren't they like doing away?
they
with
might
I
be.
hope so.
I don't know, but oh gosh, hold up. What was I about to say? Oh, they'll like make me stuff and put a song in there that I've already downloaded from Apple Music that I haven't like found on Spotify yet, and so it like tells me that like Spotify knows what my like music taste is really well because
Yeah.
like it'll even be like a not very known song, and I'll be like, what? Like I've never heard anybody mention it, but Spotify will give it to me in like a playlist. I'm like, bro, how'd they
Yeah,
know?
dude,
They were
they're-
just recommending me the
whatever-
song that I've already
Whatever
liked before.
algorithms they use for,
Yeah, they're
like, making, like, especially, like, daily mixes and stuff, it's... I want to know, you know, how they do it from just, like, an algorithmic aspect, because it works. It's very good.
Very good.
I guess we should get back on topic, shouldn't
Yes.
we?
They recently. I don't know if you guys got it, but they recently released the Your Summer.
Oh, really?
Playlist.
Oh, I love those
And
playlists.
I think it's like songs that you
Yeah.
listened to last summer,
I never listened.
and it's like super cool. I was like, I haven't listened through it yet, but I was scrolling through it, and I was like,
Yeah, I love all of their, like, in-review playlists they make. They're always so cool. I love, like, the year-end ones, and then looking at the, like, analytics.
bro, the last song on this playlist is "Brick" by the Ben
excited.
Folds 5. I'm gonna cry.
A local hero, or I guess
Formerly local.
we were local.
Ben Folds is from Winston, Jordan.
I think I've heard of him before, actually.
I know he.
Probably. He's pretty
Yeah,
renowned.
I know he went to Reynolds High School, and then he. I
Yeah.
don't know if he went to Chapel Hill or if he kind of started his career in Chapel Hill. But yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah,
And
I remember hearing his
uh,
name. Claire probably mentioned him.
and Childish Gambino
Probably.
mentions him in the song "Sweatpants."
It's
Never
true.
heard that song.
Got 5 on or like Ben
Yep.
Folds.
Oh.
Because it's the Ben Folds 5 is the band that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, did either of y'all have any more like specific musical aspects you liked?
I like the alliteration of "Alrighty Aphrodite." I think it like went really well in the song. Not many like whenever songs do good alliterations, I don't know, it just makes it a lot more catchy. Like, hold up,
Yeah.
I forgot what the beat was to it, but it's like, sing it, Jamie. What's the part with "Alrighty"? Hold on.
Alrighty, Aphrodite.
I don't know. It just
That's the
it just flows better.
yeah.
Just
It's
flows better.
dude, it's kind of funny because like it is alliterative, and also I don't know why it just feels like it feels sassy.
Yeah,
It's like a
He's
clapback.
got a little attitude.
Alrighty, Aphrodite. Okay,
It's like, well, alrighty then. No,
Also, I think Techno Show is like my least favorite. It just didn't. It just seemed kind of boring.
Mm-hmm. The first time I listened to it, I didn't like it as much as when I listened to it in the car on the way back to my apartment today. I was like, I kind of like the change of pace.
Yeah, I don't know. I had that too, but I still like never. My feelings about it never evolved to the point where I really like it a whole lot. But I definitely like it more now than I did. That was always like
if you were gonna skip a song, you would skip that one.
Yeah, that one or Not Me.
I got you.
And I don't know why. I like Not Me more, but it's still that one. And then Shagu's Side Turn, that was one that I like used to skip, but now I'm like, yeah, I like it. Even before I really knew what the words were, I was just, for some reason, I was like, okay, I kind of get this now. I dig it.
Yeah, I think, the one that I was actually talking about earlier with the non-sequential rhythm of the instruments playing at the end was Being So Normal. I don't know if there actually is a rhythm. There probably is. But, like, at the end, it just seems like the guitar just keeps going in and out at, like, random times, you know? He just goes, yeah. Like it probably is rhythmic at some point, but like when I was listening to it, it just sounded like it kept going in and out. Like I was expecting it to just keep playing and then it would just stop and be like, okay, I guess it's done now, and then it would pop back in and I'd be like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I think I'll cut that in, and I'm pretty sure that I'm thinking correctly of what you're talking about.
I hope so.
Yeah, there's if you listen to like the background, there's a lot of cool musical stuff that's happening that's definitely overshadowed. But if you like really pay attention to, you're like, oh, that's neat.
Nice. Yeah, I like towards the end of Private Presley the strings that they throw in the like, it sounds like more than one violin, so that's why I just say strings. But
yeah,
some arrangement of strings, but it kind of swells up, I think, at the end of the last chorus, and then after the chorus when it like the strings kind of swell, and then like they cut all the music, and then that's when the big guitar breakdown starts. That was really cool.
Yeah, it definitely is a very cool
it's a nice emotional swell.
Musical moment.
You guys all said the same thing.
It's a good score. Cinematic with that. Any other, I guess, like anything else you guys want to add before we get into the ratings?
I don't think so for me.
I liked, yeah, I mean, we've pretty much mentioned everything that I put in my lyrical and my musical notes. I did like, I put that I like the lyrics, or I said I like the sentiment of Techno Show, how he's not like super into the music, but he's into the girl that he's with, so instead of being like snobby and being like, I don't want to dance to this crappy music, he's like, well, I'll just have fun because she's having fun, and I'll have fun that way.
Which is, and I think, I can't remember if this is actually the case or not, but I'm pretty sure, because he like doing little like interstitial stories between songs while like tuning or guitar changes and stuff. I'm pretty sure that that's like literally what the song is like. That's the nail on the head what this song is about. He was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure if I remember right, he was like, I had this friend and we were really cool. And she liked going to like techno shows and stuff, and I didn't. Like, she liked going to raves, but I didn't. But yeah, she was really hot, so I actually went to a few raves. And I'm pretty sure that that's also the person, the girl he's with in Tommy's party as well. Yeah, they're really funny guys as well. Seeing them, like, just hear Neil just say like stories or just talk at Bonnaroo, it was just funny because it was probably one of the more personable performances I've seen people make, where you could tell that he wasn't like super comfortable, so he was just like saying whatever, sometimes going on into a little too much detail, but it was very humanizing.
Did you say Neil is the singer or the guitarist?
He's the singer. Okay. He's the singer. Chris is the guitarist. And they also, at least for the Being So Normal tour, they wore the same outfits every time. Because that's what they had their, like, whoever get for their first music video they made. And their goal was to look like they were dressed up as, like, little men. Like what parents would dress, like dapper clothes that parents would get for their, like, 5-year-olds to go to a nice birthday party. That was their goal. And then
that's funny.
That's just what they wore. Because I'm telling you, they meme the shit out of everything. They got a new van and were giving away their old van, just giving it away to whatever band, and they made this whole sketch about it. It's just hilarious.
I'll have to give them a follow.
You and check out the new especially their, like, the IGTV.
Oh, I got you.
Like that, they have most of their sketches are, like, on Instagram in that format, and they're really funny. Their music videos are pretty interesting too on YouTube.
Not okay, go type.
Dude, sorry I'm simping so hard, guys.
Bro, it's okay. We all have artists and people that we all have entertainers we love so much and would do anything for.
Oh, also, both them and their fans, everyone are daddies. So, like, if you look at their Twitter and stuff, they both call people daddy, and then also, if you're a fan and you reference them, you say daddies as well. It's very weird, but
that's kind of a cool, like, back and forth. Like,
it's so funny.
It's not the person in charge and the people following. We're all on the same level, you know.
You can really see it in the, like, if you look at the YouTube, like, the comment sections of a lot of their music videos, because they respond to. There's some they're more responsive, but they actually respond to a lot of comments, and they're just like, "Thank you, Daddy," and stuff like that. It's very weird, but I love it. Yeah, I mean, I guess we can kind of just start wrapping her up then. If you guys don't have any more, like, specific standout stuff,
I don't think so.
All right, so I guess we'll go with Nick, and then me, and then Jordan. And Jordan, you can announce next week's album.
Okay.
So take it away, Nick.
Yeah. I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's almost not exactly right to call it like an indie album, because it sounds really, like, polished and well put together. But
I feel like it's a lot of genres.
Yeah,
I think of it as indie rock, but I mean, there's also, like, surf influence. They describe it as chewed up bubblegum pop. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, I just describe them as just indie rock, because I feel like indie's kind of a catch-all term anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just really enjoyed the whole vibe that it had, and the timbre of the singer's voice is something that I wrote. I just like you said it was Neil, right? I like the just the, like, it's almost like kind of like calming, like I kind of like the general, like, not partying, but it has kind of like a young adult, like, adolescent coming of age vibe to it. I kind of felt, at least.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And I like that stuff. So,
big Ladybird guy.
I've never seen Ladybird. I'd probably like it. You know how I am.
Probably.
But I give it a solid. I'd give it a solid 7. I think 7 out of 10.
Gotcha. You gonna take her away, Jordan?
Wait, I thought you said. Wait, did you already do yours?
No. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I think Jamie,
my bad.
Yeah, Jamie, then Jordan.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Sorry about that. I didn't rearrange the names in my notes and just blanked on
baby,
that.
I don't understand.
But yeah, like I love this album. Loved it before really digging into the lyrics. Still love it. Pretty much said all I really can say on it. But I'll give it a 9.5.
Ooh.
Gosh dang.
Because it's not quite. I already have in mind what my first 10 is going to be, and so I can't preemptively give it now. So 9.5.
Bro, I really want to know what your 10 is, but
I surprised myself.
You will find out
rating
later.
Mechanical Bull a 10 out of 10 last week, but it just made sense when I thought through it.
Sometimes when it feels right, it feels right, and and a 9.5 felt right for this one. So
I don't think I could ever give an album a 10 out of 10. That means I have to have like every single song on there, and there's at least an album that I don't really like every single song on. But so I guess it's my turn. Yep.
Bring her home, Jordan. Bring her home.
Okay, so again, not my type of music. Like a lot, but it wasn't bad to listen to. I like the beginning. Ending's probably one of the worst endings of an album I've ever heard in my whole life. But other than that, I'd probably give like I keep going back and forth between like a half number and a whole number. I want to say like, you know what? I'm usually pretty generous giving stuff. I'll give it a 4.
Oh, okay.
Pretty generous.
I think that's what you gave Turn Blue.
Actually, give it a 3.5. I changed my mind.
Dang.
I knocked it
I'm
down,
sorry.
sure.
I was thinking about it. I was like, I don't know if
You talked him off the ledge.
No, I wanted to give it a 3.
All right, so then that brings us to an overall score of 6.66.
Oh.
Wow, look at what you did, Jordan. Look at what you did. And actually, I wanted to correct what I said last week with Mechanical Bull. I said that it was
coming back.
It was like tied.
Okay.
With Turn Blue, and that
Alright.
is in fact not the case. It is Turn Blue is a 6.39, so Mechanical Bull is still our highest rated album.
What was Mechanical Bull?
But not
Was it
anymore,
6.8?
right?
What was Mechanical Bull? Was it a 6.8?
6.8, yeah.
Oh,
And
just
this-
dethroned.
This beat up.
Yeah, this is 6.66, so it is second highest, actually.
Yeah. Whoops, I didn't even know that would happen, but
Yeah.
My bad, Jamie. My bad. I'm sorry.
Brought out the devil's number.
Smoking that lettuce. So, are you guys excited to hear what?
Yeah. Let's go ahead and announce what the next one's gonna be.
We'll be listening to the offbeat master himself,
Oh,
Blueface Babies,
Oh, God.
Dirtbag from 2019.
Oh, God.
Oh, let me correct my correction. My spreadsheet was broken. They are still tied. Both are 6.83.
Bro, did you just do math wrong
Wait,
again?
what? 6.83?
Yeah. My spreadsheet average formula was wrong. So Turn Blue is still tied with Mechanical Bull.
6 up.
So what is the album, Jordan?
Dirtbag by Blueface. It had such a good build up, Jamie. You better.
You did.
leave
It was actually in delivery. If it weren't for my foolishness, would have been flawless.
Thank you. Blueface.
So
baby.
what drove you to this decision?
Okay. Well, again, the album's 22 minutes long, so it's not even really like.
Another short one.
Yeah, it's not really. I like most of the songs on there, and if I didn't like a song, it was only like 2 minutes long, so it made me like the whole album. I was thinking, like, I'm trying to do albums I like as a whole more than just albums I really have like one song that I really like on it. But this song, I'm not gonna tell you. I listened to a lot of these songs, maybe not a lot of them, but like at least 4 of them, like a lot. But then there's one song that like. This is the album that got me into Blueface. One of the songs on here is that like it got me into Blueface, so that's also why I want to listen to it because I still love the song to this day.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Lil Pump's on this album. I don't really listen to that song though, but
Should have done
just
a
be
little Pump
prepared.
album.
No, please. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Mm-mm.
My bad, I do cocaine. Demonetized.
What?
I
Did
would
he get
demonetize
demonetized?
myself.
No, right? It's so hard to get monetized, but anyways. That's a rant for another day. All right. Do we want to say what we've been listening to this week?
No.
Yeah. I've just been listening. Honestly, I've just been listening to this album and a lot of podcasts.
It's impressive.
Still RTJ4 a little bit, but not as much.
Interesting. I still need to listen to that album, but maybe one of you guys can suggest it for me. No.
If we have the past and one.
But, yeah. Wait. What did you say? What in the past month?
We have. You said maybe one of you guys can suggest it to me, right?
Oh, no. I mean as like, the album on
Awkward.
the podcast.
Oh, I got you. I thought you meant RTJ4,
Yeah.
and I was like, I think we've both said something about the past 3 podcasts.
Okay. So I think it was this week. Do you guys know the song "What's Poppin'" by Jack Harlow?
Nah.
You probably heard it on TikTok where it's like, "What's poppin'? Brand new whip just hopped in.
Oh,
I
maybe.
got options. I can pass it."
Yeah.
And it has like this like piano.
probably
It has
heard
like a piano in the back. It's like, bing, ding, ding, ding. Yeah. They came out with a remix with DaBaby, Tory Lanez, and Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
And not only that, but Jack Harlow also redoes his verse. So you know how remix usually like someone keeps their verse and then someone just adds to it?
Yeah.
He did a new verse for this song also. So the only thing that's the same is the chorus, which is kind of crazy for like a song or like a remix song. I listened to this song called Banana that has Shaggy in it by Conqueror. I've never heard of them, but they sample the Banana Boat song, which is like "Daylight's gone, man, we wanna go home."
Okay, yeah, definitely familiar from like elementary school music class.
Yeah. Okay, just make sure. Or Lil Wayne's the 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot. Look,
Mm-hmm.
that samples that too. I remember when that song came out, and everyone was like, "Dude, 6 foot, 7 foot. Oh my gosh, that song." I'm like, "Oh, that really sounds like the Banana Boat song." And then everyone's like, "No, it doesn't, dude. It sounds like Lil Wayne." I'm like,
Yeah,
oh
dude, it
my
absolutely
gosh.
is. That's like I thought that the first time I heard it.
I know.
Absolutely. I'm on.
And then
your
there's
side.
this weird like 1992 song that I found called "They Want EFX." I think it was playing on my TV, like on one of those music stations by like accident. I just really liked it. It's a rap from 1992, but that's what I've been listening to.
Mhm. Gotcha.
That's pretty much it.
I got you. Riding off the high of last week, I listened to all of Kings of Leon's discography except for their second album.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed Only by the Night a lot, which is the album that kind of blew them up with Use Somebody. I also got back into a guy who makes music pretty close to us. His band's name is Hiss Golden Messenger, and he makes kind of like folk southern rock stuff. And I listened to a lot of his stuff. His album Hallelujah Anyhow, I really like it, and the album right before it, Heart Like a Levee.
Gotcha.
I also listened to After Hours by The Weeknd again. Pretty good album.
Great album.
Um,
Great album.
I haven't listened to all of it, but I love Blinding Lights.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so good.
I discovered License to Ill by the Beastie Boys because I watched a little Rick Rubin documentary. Who, if you don't know who he is, he's like he's probably produced at least one album that you really like. Like he's just like super in like all different kinds of music. But he was the Beastie Boys like main producer for I know at least their first album, and they mentioned it in a little short like mini doc thing that I watched on YouTube, and so I went and listened to it, and it was pretty cool. I really like the instrumentals, and it takes some getting used to like the Beastie Boys' like voices, but the instrumentals are like really good. Rick Rubin samples like Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath and like just all kinds of stuff. But also a guy I've liked for a long time, Ray LaMontagne. I think that's how you say his last name. He came out with a new album, Monovision. good stuff. And a band that I stand pretty hard, Three Sisters from California. They make kind of like indie pop music. Their last name is Haim. That's their band name. Just their last name, Haim, Haim. And they came out with their third album, Women in Music Part 3. And I've enjoyed it a lot as well. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Nice.
That's it.
All right. Yeah. So we just wanted to say thanks for listening this week, and remember to tune in next week where we'll take a look at Dirtbag by Blueface. Be sure to give it a listen or two so that you can kind of have your own thoughts and, I guess, mentally participate in the discussion. See, if we hit on any points that you, the listener, find, or, you can agree or disagree. And then if you want to let us know, feel free to either leave a comment about your thoughts on this week's album on either YouTube, or you can tweet them at us. We're on Twitter at ListenUpPod, and that account, as well as our personal Twitter handles, will be in the description of wherever you find this podcast. But yeah, for now, we'll catch you next week, and remember to listen up.